Yeah. Oh.
Hey everyone, it's the Brown Barbie doll, and this is going to be my story time for my boys series. Basically, this story time is focused on guys that I used to talk to, and I feel like these stories will help other girls who are possibly dealing with these crazy situations that I've been in. Just a disclaimer, as far as all of these guys, not all of these guys, not even majority of these guys have been my boyfriends. They really just have been people that I was talking to, trying to see if it was going to work or even lead up to that, and it just never happened. I will not be mentioning any of the guys' names in this video because, you know, for sake of their identity, I don't want anybody to feel embarrassed by any of the stories that I'm telling or anything like that. So the story that I'm going to tell you today happened my freshman year of college. And the reason why I start off with this story is this story was kind of one of my biggest situationships. I'm not even gonna say relationship because it never happened, but one of my biggest situationships. I was just starting my freshman year, and I was just so excited. You know, I had a group of friends, and my roommate, she had already met a guy over the summer, and he played basketball for the opposite school. My best friend's roommate wanted to meet his friend because she thought his friend was cute. And so basically one day we were walking on the promenade. That's like the little big walkway we have at our school, and we saw them there, and it happened to be one of the guys' birthday. And so they were like, they're having a party, you know, come to the party with us. And so, you know, we walked to their dorm with them, and they're like, we have somebody who's going to take you to the party. And it was the dude the story's about. And so he ends up driving us to the party, and he really didn't say much. Like, so I didn't know, you know, I thought he was cute, but he didn't really say anything. So I was just like, okay. We get into the party, you know, the party's starting, everyone's having fun. And my friends boot up. Me and Jasmine aren't really boot up with anybody. And I see the guy who drove us with this girl. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, he already has somebody. So let me let that go. And, you know, they're dancing on each other or whatever. So I just kind of leave it alone. But during the party, he asked me if I want to dance. So I'm like, okay, this couldn't have been his girlfriend because he wouldn't just ask me to dance in front of her. And so, you know, I started dancing with him. Closer to the end of the party, my other friend is booed up or whatever, so we're just kind of sitting on the couch, and he's sitting on the steps, and he asked me to, like, come over there. And so I go over there, and, you know, we're just talking and all that, and then he's like, give me a kiss. And I'm like, we're both drunk, like my mouth tastes like alcohol. Like, no, I'm not going to give you a kiss. But of course I gave him a kiss because it's a drunken college party. So I definitely gave him a kiss. And from then on, we were almost texting like every single day. At one point he was saying, I seem like the relationship type of girl. And I was like, I don't know. You know, I just got here. So I don't know if I'm a relationship type of girl right now or not. And then he was like, yo, you know, I just want to have fun, but I'm not against a relationship. I'm like, cool. Me thinking nothing of it because thinking ahead of time, I've never thought that I would be so sprung over him as I was. I never, even him saying that to me, I was never thinking that it was ever going to go anywhere in the first place. So, you know, it was just swept under the rug when he said that. Yeah, from then on, we were texting every single day. I would wait until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then he would text me and say that his, like, if his RAs were gone or not. And then if they were gone, I would go over to the other school, because the school is right across from us. I would go over to the other school, sneak into his dorm, and I'd be over there for maybe 2 hours, not doing anything, guys, but enjoying each other's company. And I would be over there for like 2 hours or so, knowing that I had an 8 o'clock class the next day, so that I have to wake up at like 6 o'clock. So I wouldn't get back to my room until like 4. I would get 2 hours of sleep and then do it again the next day. It just became a cycle because I was just so, I like this dude so much that, you know, if I had to wake up late for class, I would. It would be like class or him, and it would be him. Not that my grades suffered from that, but it was just my first infatuation, I guess. It rolls over into October. Now, I told you all about me losing my virginity and how it was not a great experience. And so this time I felt like, okay, I really like this dude. I think this is the guy that I want to have sex with. You know, I was excited about it. And, you know, I had planned everything for homecoming. And so during homecoming, it just wasn't going to happen. It was too much going on and all that. He was always busy doing something. I was busy doing stuff. And the schedules just didn't work. So we didn't do anything during homecoming. The first week of November comes around, and he tells me that his parents are going out of town. I know, just like a movie. He tells me that his parents are going out of town and that, you know, I could come over, like I could spend a night or whatever, and he would take me to class the next morning. And so I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time to do this, you know. It's not going to be in his dorm room bed or anything like that. It's going to be nice. And so that day I walk all the way to the liquor store. Mind you, the liquor store is like 20-30 minutes walking distance there, and then, you know, like 30 minutes back. I go to the liquor store, yes, illegal drinking, because I just wanted to feel calm. I didn't want to be so nervous because it felt like I was losing my virginity for the first time again. I went to the liquor store, got some liquor for that night because I was already ready, and, you know, drank a little before it was time for me to go. And yeah, and then we went over there, and I was so nervous. Like, oh my God, I was so nervous. Like, I couldn't believe this was gonna happen. So when we got there, we started watching a movie. We were watching Rush Hour. He ended up falling asleep, and I'm like, oh my God, my perfect night is ruined. Like, he fell asleep, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna change into my pajamas and go to sleep. And he's like, no. So he woke right up, and after that, I don't have to explain it to you, but that's what happened. The next morning, you know, I get ready for class, and all I'm thinking in my head is like, he's not going to text me back today. Like, he's not going to start texting me anymore. Like, I can't believe I did that. Like, this is going to be just like how when I lost my virginity. He's not going to talk to me again. So, you know, I get out of the car or whatever, and I get a text from him throughout the day saying, like, have a good day. Something along the lines of that. I was like, yes, like, he's texting me. I don't know. I was really excited because I just really didn't think he was going to text me. And so, like, I went over there again the next day. And from there, yes, it was me being sexually active and having somebody to talk to and all of that. Now, mind you, after that happened, nothing changed. Nothing at all. It was still texting every day. It was still me sneaking over to his dorm. It was still FaceTime. It was still well, no, not FaceTime. I'm sorry. I had a Galaxy at that time. But it was still frequent communication. I remember one time I saw this, we were over at his dorm because my best friend, Cephas, lived in his dorm. And we were at his dorm, and one of his friends came in and was talking to Cephas. And, you know, was kind of hinting along the lines that there was a girl in his room. And so, of course, I wanted to go see it. And so, you know, we went over there. The guy rushes through, opens the door, and all I see is the girl sitting on his bed, like Indian style on his bed. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is not happening. He's not doing this to me. Like, I can't believe he's messing with somebody else, and, you know, we're messing around and all of that. So I was just so upset that day I was like, delete. I was deleting everything, numbers, messages, all of that, because I was just over it. It turns out there was a whole study group in that room as well. So throughout the time, it was a lot of me making assumptions, but it was like, because he played basketball, I would go to his games and stuff, and I would hear girls cheering for him. I remember one time I went to this game, and you know, I was cheering for him, and I hear a girl back there trying to out cheer me. And I'm like, what is this? It would be like every time I would go to a game, I would hear some girl screaming about him or talking about him or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know, even though I said I wouldn't go to the games, I was just not the type of person that I wasn't going to support what he was doing. So I was continuously still going to his games. You know, basically it gets to December, which is winter break. He actually drove me to the bus station, because this is when I didn't fly. So he drove me to the bus station or whatever, gave me a kiss, and I left or whatever. And I wasn't sure if he was going to be texting me, like talking to me throughout the break. And he did. Like, nothing changed. He was still texting me every day. You know, by that time, I had an iPhone, I think. So he was FaceTiming me, texting, calling. We were still doing all of that. And so basically, you know, he was saying that he had already got me a Christmas gift. And I was like, cool, okay, now I have to get him a Christmas gift. So I ended up getting him, well, ordering these shoes. Right, shoes, I know, I shouldn't, whatever. They were like $60. And so I ended up getting him these shoes that he wanted. Get back on campus, because I had the shoes delivered to school when I got back on campus. And he said that he ended up getting a parking ticket. So he couldn't buy my gift anymore. I was like, you know, but you said you already had my gift. He was like, but I knew what I was going to get you. I was going to get that, but I got a parking ticket. I'm like, cool, okay, I'll give you your stuff if you post me as your Women Crush Wednesday. That nigga was like, no, I'm not posting you. I don't do things like that. And I'm just like, we text every day. We talk every day. Why can you not post me as your Women Crush Wednesday? I'm over here mad about it or whatever. But he ends up talking to me about it. And that was the thing with him. It was like, we never did not talk about stuff. Everything was always talked out. And, you know, after we had talked about it, it was squashed. Done. You know, I just kind of realized, okay, he's not that type of person. But even in the back of my mind, I was just thinking, am I being naive? Like, is he messing with other people, and I'm being this girl who's buying him shoes and texting him and just so crazy over a dude who's not really that crazy over me? And I just, you know, at the time I didn't understand why he didn't want to post me. But if you think about it, somebody who doesn't want to post you is probably scared that other people are going to see. Guys who don't care about stuff like that, like, it's whatever, y'all post you. You know, we talk, why not? They don't care who sees. So, you know, me should have put two and two together. I just let things go on for so long that, I mean, I just liked him so much that I really was not seeing what was going on. Now, closer to February, which is around my birthday, close to the end of the month, you know, I think I had birthday sex. And after that, it was like really nothing. Like, he was very rarely texting me. We weren't talking, anything like that, you know. I remember like a month or so before that, I saw that he had hard eyes and stuff by this girl's name and all of that. And I just like, okay, well, you know, like, kind of like, what about me? Like, and so basically, you know, we had a talk about it, and he's kind of saying, you know, I think, you know, we're growing apart. And I was like, no, you're growing apart from me, because I still feel the same way about you, but you clearly don't feel the same way about me, because you're not texting me, you're very rarely talking to me. And so, you know, I don't even remember how the whole thing happened, but I just know that we really stopped talking. And then when we started talking about it again, I was in my biology class. I remember I was in my biology class, and so, you know, we were texting about it. And then he was like, he basically said, I don't care about you how you care about me. When I tell you, I was crushed. I was in class like trying not to cry. Like, I just had all these tears built up, and as soon as class let out, I just rushed straight to my dorm, you know, went to my room because I walked past Jasmine and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. I go to my room and I'm bawling. When I tell you, I'm crying like the whole day. And mind you, I don't really let stuff get to me, so that was the only day that I cried. But I cried like the whole day. I was so upset. I was listening to sad music. I was just so sad. I couldn't believe that he told me that he didn't care about me like that, and I was really over here really caring about somebody like that. And so for the next few months, we didn't talk at all. You know, and then I ended up seeing him with a girl from another school. I ended up seeing him with her, and like my feelings were crushed. Like, he was walking her to his dorm and stuff, and giving hugs and kisses and stuff. And, you know, then Cephas tells me, because, you know, Cephas supposedly has all this tea. He was like, yeah, I think they go out. And my feelings were like, I just walked away. I didn't even want to talk about it. I was like, y'all, please don't walk with me. Like, just let me have some time. So, of course, my friend's following behind me. But I'm just so upset because I'm like, that's crazy. He has a girlfriend, and, you know, he has a girlfriend, and he wouldn't even want that with me. But we, like, I waited for him, you know, waited almost 3 months to end up having sex. You know, we talked. I bought him shoes. Like, I just felt like it was crazy that he moved on so fast. Like, so fast. I think it was like March or April. I felt like, and you know, my birthday was the end of the month, so I felt like, okay, that nigga was just over me, like, like, done with me. And yes, like, my feelings were hurt. I think it was like the day before I was supposed to leave. No, I think it was a little bit after that. Before that. And so we were talking outside of his dorm for like 4 hours, literally about everything. And, you know, he's telling me that the reason I act like that because I've never had that with somebody like I've had with him, which was true. But he had already had that with somebody, and she basically fucked him over and all of that. But I just couldn't understand what was it about me that made him not want to be my boyfriend. He didn't want anything serious with me, and I couldn't wrap my head around what exactly I was doing wrong. And so, yes, I really like beat myself up over it for months, because I just couldn't believe that we were done talking, like that it was over, that he had moved on and all of that. He told me he didn't want that. Like, he never wanted a relationship. I was like, that's not what you told me. You told me you weren't against it. But at the same time, you know, of course I never expected to like somebody as much as I liked him. But, you know, shit happens. So I'm still cool with him to this day. I don't have a problem with him at all. This is not anything to bash him. But, you know, basically the moral of this story, I feel like, is to know what people's intentions are straight up. Because you can feel one way about a person, and the person can, like, probably not even feel as close to what you feel about them. I still, to this day, he's still the type of person that's, like, real, like, secretive and don't really like talking about feelings or whatever. I still, to this day, don't know how much he really felt about me. But at the same time, I feel like to have messed with somebody for that many months, mind you, that was like 6 months maybe, and, you know, finally getting tired of somebody after that many months, you had to have felt something. But guys are the type of people to act like they don't have feelings. So I say, if you're really gonna, like, put yourself out there for somebody, make sure that person wants to be with you and only you. Because still to this day, I have no clue if he was messing with all those girls. You know, I found out later that he was messing with girls, but it wasn't to my knowledge, wasn't the time that I was messing with him. But I still to this day don't know. Was I really looking like Boo Boo the Fool? Was I really looking stupid and really thinking that he was only focused on me and he was focused on a bunch of other girls because he's a basketball player, you know? So these stories are going to get juicier and juicier as I tell them. This was I just wanted to tell you all about what I thought was my first love, which I don't think I was in love with him, but what I thought was my first love. And so, yep. That's all for my story time. Hopefully you guys like this video, comment and subscribe, and my next video will be to you all tomorrow, so tune in. Bye. To all these niggas don't always see niggas.